back to Choey and Jandler's the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. This is still our spring, fall, well, actually, we call it our fall off season. A little time for us to rest and recharge. Also, rethinking some new ideas, stack some stuff. And I got a couple I'll share here shortly. Here in San Antonio, just so you know, we're dealing with the cool, crisp 51 degrees here at nighttime. That's us San Antonio folk. We don't know how to deal with that when it's that cool. But it is what it is. Alright, move on real quick to our holidays.
Here are today's effing holidays.
Alright, so this is our January 17th episode. It is, first off, it's National Ditch New Year's Resolution Day. January 17th. That's right, only about 2.5 weeks after the turn of the new year. They're saying it's officially the time where you can just scrap it if you want. Grab some ice cream, skip that workout, and spend some more time on your phone. And just ditch New Year's Resolution Day here, January 17th. If all your grand resolutions for the year have started to seem unrealistic or more of a chore, an actual commitment today, feel guilt-free. Just say, man, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm on the borderline. So that was a funny holiday. It's also National Bootleggers Day. On National Bootleggers Day, it's celebrated January 17th every year to mark several key events. The start of Prohibition in the U.S., the distillation of Templeton Rye whiskey, and the birthday of the infamous gangster Al Capone. What's most interesting is how all three events are interconnected too. Alright, so it's National Bootleggers Day here on January 17th. And finally, our last holiday, it's National Popeye Day. We are celebrating Popeye Day on January 17th. Popeye made his debut appearance in a comic strip called Bimbo Theater, which was created on January 17th, 1929. Almost 100 years ago, 95 to be exact. So, I remember watching the reruns of Popeye, but I like how he was a sailor just like I was in the Navy. And then like I was saying, already talked about our weather, so real quick, last week, I will apologize. I thought I'd pick our first episode of the season. I had not, but it was still a pretty cool one because we got to introduce the dude. We had a little summertime fun. This one is shout out to my boy Jay Hype. Trying to get that Jamaican love going on with us. So we're gonna release the Jamaican one again, and I'll hit him up one more time and say, hey, get the family listening. We would love to say cheers to all the Jamaicans out there as we cheers around the world here on Choey and Jandler. Quick headline or two before we dive into the episode. Last week here in San Antonio, we had some unusual weather for us. Where it actually got a little cold and some actual rain. But I had a student that missed school, and I remember asking her, why didn't you come to school the other day? And she's like, well, I don't go to school in the rain. And it just kind of made me think, this is not a future postal worker for the United States of America. She can't deal with it at this age, kids sometimes, right? I had another kid today that said they had pink eye. It turns out they were just rubbing their eye, and the eye was colored pink, So it's a big difference, Words mean something, Pink eye is one thing. Eye being irritated, that's completely different. But anyway, sit back and re-listen to our Jamaican love. And if you hadn't heard this episode with me, Choey, and Jay Hype, enjoy.
Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, welcome back to Choey and Jandler's the Fun Time Super Trick Happy Hour. Welcome, Choey.
Welcome, Jandler.
And we got our new guest, Jay Hype, big United fan with me. Also from the Isles of Jamaica. So cheers, Jay. How's it going?
Going on, y'all.
Look, he's got that. He's sitting on his nice balcony. I think. How's the weather out there? Is it hot, man?
Pretty hot. Yeah, pretty hot out here.
Is it anything like it is? This is nothing compared to Jamaica. Is Jamaica more humid?
No, it's less humid in Jamaica. We got like a lot of trees, like breeze and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
Nice.
Well, I mean, that makes sense now. I think about my days in Hawaii. There's only a little bit of hot times down there.
Here are today's effing holidays.
All right, so Jay and Choey, August 23rd is National Ride the Wind Day. So take flight, relax, and enjoy the late summer breeze. It's time to ride the wind. There's a guy in oh my god, a glider. I'm gonna guess, Choey, you wouldn't do that.
I mean, it seems kind of cool, but then like you know what like immediately popped in my head when I see the picture
The
is
crash.
now that's in my mind too. Um, which Jurassic Park was it where like they're like going like they're doing like the parasailing or something like that, and then the next thing you know, like the boat's all messed up, and
I'm pretty sure that was 3.
you know what I'm talking about though? Like where
Yeah,
they gotta go see the kid. Oh, that's right, it is three because they bring what's his name back.
yeah.
So what happens if I'm stuck on that flight? Like
Always, always the negatives with you. It's
it's not
also
negative, it's realism.
it's also a cheap flight day. So hopefully you globetrotters out there mark your calendars for August 23rd so you can buy some cheap flights well in advance. So any of y'all want to travel here, that's a good day to look at. And then
Is that really
last,
true though? Is that really true though? Like they like market like they're just on the holiday, or is it just because they just made it
I,
a holiday?
it's a holiday, so that's something to look into. August 23rd. I mean, it doesn't
Well,
really mean
Okay.
anything for
is it
us
a
because
federal holiday?
it's a national holiday. So like
Okay.
like we found a website. If you got the money, you can create any holiday you want, man. And maybe they promote it that way with cheap tickets. It doesn't really mean anything for us unless you want to go somewhere that weekend. And then last but not least, August 23rd is Find Your Inner Nerd Day. I thought of you, Choey, just how you one of the episodes last season when you're like nerd alert. I just thought of that.
Noodles.
So I got to guess. Obviously, Jay Hype is sitting outside, and you just came from Walmart. So I was out earlier. We all know it's not cool outside, right?
Correct.
Here, just zoom in on this. So my WTF, what the forecast app says it's like a marathon runner's crotch outside. 91 degrees, feels like 100. That was the PG-13 version, and the PG version just said, "Friggin' nope, not today. Staying inside." Right? No comments on that. You guys are cool.
Fully, fully inside. We're staying
Fully
inside.
inside.
Yeah.
You're like crickets there. All right.
Fully, fully.
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
All right. Hey, now again, I know you're a little ahead of me, Choey. And Jay, you ever remind, how old is your son?
4.
Is he start pre-K this year?
He just started pre-K last Monday.
Okay, so he's already in pre-K. I know, Choey, you started what about a week ago, 2 weeks ago with kids,
2 weeks ago. Two
with
weeks ago.
students. All right, so we start officially this coming week, this Monday.
God dang.
People
But
keep
tell me,
asking
yeah.
people keep asking me if I'm ready. Physically, I'm ready. My classroom, I put on my notes here. It's about halfway ready. There's still a lot I got to hang up, man. Moving classrooms, and we didn't get as much time in the classroom this summer as we normally do to like set it up. So I feel like I'm behind there. But let me ask you, how was your son's first week? Jay,
It,
did he like it?
it was actually impressive. Like I had to treat him yesterday to Chuck E. Cheese because he had a great week. I didn't expect the transition to be so smooth. Like it was pretty smooth. He woke up at 6 o'clock. I take him to school because I live right next door to the school. The school is like less than a minute away. Like
Oh,
walking,
oh
the
yeah, I think I
school is
saw it.
literally
I think
there's
I
a
saw it.
fence in
Yeah.
between. There's a fence in between my house and the school. It's literally right across from where I live. So, but I take him to school by 7 o'clock. I drop him off by 7 because I let him eat breakfast at school. But he gets up in the morning and he's good. He's not crying. He's not whining. He's just ready to go to school.
Is he
Like he
That's
loves his
good.
teacher. He loves his teacher. He loves meeting new people. So,
is
but yeah,
he is he there all full day or half day?
he's there. Well, it's 7 to 2:30.
Okay, so
Well,
he gets out a
seven
little bit.
25 to 2:30. Seven
Yeah.
25 to 2:30.
What did he tell you anything he did in preschool?
Yeah,
Like any of those
they
days?
paint, they do all kind of different stuff at school.
I subbed when I was still living in Illinois. I subbed pre-K all the way through 8th grade, like multiple times. So I was in I think I was in a pre-K classroom like 3, maybe 4 times. And I remember, I think the last time I was there, I asked, and there was like 3 different schools too. I asked one of the teachers, and like, this is gonna sound bad how I phrased it, but I was like, "What's the purpose of pre-K?" Right? And I didn't mean to sound mean, but I was just like, "Are we trying to teach them a little bit of stuff?" She said it's all about getting used to the social part and getting used to being at school, you know. And I was like, okay, because I know what the one of the schools I was at, we came in, and I think we had recess, came back, maybe went over the alphabet, went outside to recess again, came back, and I think it was like lunchtime. Then remember like playtime inside, and I was just like, man, all we do is like play all day. I had no problem with it. I was just curious. She's like, no, no
Yeah,
offense.
that's part of the process. It's basically getting them ready for school. It's getting them ready. It's getting them acclimated with like the school system and like being around other people and stuff like that. So it's really like a setup. It's a setup for the next year.
Okay, I mean that makes sense when you do it. And how's your 2 weeks been, Choey?
Mine's been good. Just
You're,
because I mean, me being director and stuff like that, I don't have a whole like it's a different experience not having to be on the campus and stuff like that. But you got to think, man, like pre-K, those kids are 2 years removed from like being in diapers, Chandler. So like, what do you? It's a big like they've only been alive for like 4 years. Like so, like, do
Right,
you think
right.
that
so you guys,
it's a
I'm
different?
that's why I said it's gonna sound mean. I'm just like, what's the
You're,
purpose of pre-K?
what's the purpose? What do we just do with these kids? We're like
Hey,
teach them.
it's
That's
like a
why.
day. It's kind of like a daycare, kind of.
Yeah, I was at this one school. I forget what its name was called, but it's right next to Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. And I was pre-K that one day, and there was this one little girl that like she wanted me to like run around with her at recess. And guys, I was like drenched in sweat. Like I was like she's kicking my you know what, and then I was just like, hey, give me a chance to breathe or whatever. And she's like, nope, let's go again. I'm like, ah. It was
Yeah,
just
at that age they got a lot of energy.
oh, they do. And I was at another pre-K. We were doing playtime indoors, right? And you know, the one thing I will say is, at least in my experience, pre-K kids don't see a lot of males in the classroom, right? It's a lot of female. So they saw me. It was like it was a big excitement for them. So we were playing some stuff. It was kind of like they had little like little figurines, you know, kind of like GI Joes when we used to play back in the day. And they're like stuff like the like doctors, police officers, things like that. And so they wanted to kind of do like a little. It sounds bad saying the word role play, but they were making up their using their imagination. And so I think I was like playing as the doctor. Again, that sounds bad. You know, it's not like playing doctor back in the day. You know,
Dude. What were you doing? Maybe we need to get you investigated there, guy.
it's like I gotta redact all of this. No, but like so they took somebody to the hospital, and I was like, hey, what happened to him? And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they might say like they followed the tree. Oh, someone so got shot by they got shot by some drive-by, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like let's just say they're sick. I was like, man, these kids get exposed to a lot of stuff. That's that's what threw me off. I was like, man, like you guys are
They're
violent.
sick that they have an allergic reaction to metal going through their body.
Pretty. It was just so. Yeah. No, I get it. And I got lucky. I was in another pre-K classroom, and the lady that was in there, she's like, "I'll change the diapers," and I was like, "Sweet," because I got a bad left hand. That would have been really tough. So, but that's good. He enjoyed it, man. That's good. He enjoyed it though, Jay. I'm sorry, Choey. What'd you say?
But they're smelling too, changing all the damn diapers.
Yeah. You know, I think I told you this our first season. One of the pre-K teachers, I was kind of telling her about some of the stuff we had said because they do nap time, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there was one student she would kind of rub his back a little bit, kind of massage a little bit to help him go to sleep. And this other kid was like, "Hey, miss, can you touch me too?" And she's like, "Whoa!" She's like phrasing. But yeah, I'm getting ready to go. Tomorrow's our first day with the students to get to spend time resetting
Are you excited?
expectations. I am excited because it'll give me something to do. New Year, like me and Choey talk all the time. Think about you and I were like United fans. It's like the new season, you know. You got all those hopes and expectations, you know.
Anticipation,
Yeah,
curiosity.
we're not overblown with stress or anything yet. It's like, yeah, I'm excited. It's just one of the things I got to remind myself is they're 7 years old right now, and all of this is new to them. I can't sit that back and think, hey, last year, by the end, I can say, get this out or get on this, and they know what to do. I got to teach all of that again. And with the whole summer off, teaching them how to kind of be respectful in class, that's the new thing. What's kind of cool is the first couple of days, I mean, we're there, but we're not like teaching all the time, There's a lot of like little activities, little tours and stuff. They'll hit us with a fire drill here soon, I bet, So we got to go over those kind of things. But I put here on our notes, and Choey, you and I are older than J Hype here. But J Hype, you watch Men in Black?
Men in Black.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's cool. I know for me and Choey, it was like high school time or whatever. The reason I put
It
that
was high
down,
school time for me too. How old are you?
well, I'm 44, man. I thought you were in your 30s.
I'm 33.
Yeah, maybe was it
You
middle school?
might be talking about like the different Men in Black, like a different.
Oh,
Wait,
the
which
Will
the Men
Smith
in Black
one.
I'm talking about is Will Smith and which Men in Black are you talking about?
Yeah, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones or whatever. It's like
That came out when I was in high school.
we'll have to look that
Maybe.
up. I don't think you were in high school in like '97. You know,
Nah, I was in primary school.
maybe you couldn't watch it till you were in high school, but no. The
Nah,
reason,
I was
only reason
watching
I
it.
brought that up is you remember that memory wipe tool he has? That like, hey, look into the light and he like
Yeah,
flashes them.
where it flashes the thing and the memory gets wiped.
Yeah, that's what like these kids are. Any type of large break, like you might see with your little boy when you have like Thanksgiving or Christmas time, when it goes back, like the whole routine may be like forgotten, and you're like, "What? I got to do this all over again." But anything, Joey, you want to add this week that happened? You feel we need to know about?
No, I mean, I think you kind of touched on it, man. The biggest thing for me that's highlighted is the sweating my friggin' stuff off, no matter what time of the day you went outside.
At least you got the AC on the inside, right? See, that's another cool thing. Now that school is starting, like, cause during the summertime, the AC's not always on in the classrooms. So like when we were setting up our room, like like I moved from one room to the other, and
Yeah,
so that takes energy packing stuff up, and well, that's already packed up, but like moving it over physically, and
yeah,
then I'm doing it in like a school where I got fans on, but there's no AC. Like the AC's on in the office, but it's not school wide. You gotta save money.
yeah.
I know the district works.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
hot, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
I would
not
think
fun.
we just, like maybe just crank it up towards like maybe in the 80s or something instead of not even have it on. That's kind of mean.
The rooms that I know that, like, if you have a computer lab, the AC
Yeah.
should be on all the time there because of the
Yeah.
computers, and then the office because the office. I mean, well, you guys barely
Yeah.
get time off over the summer. But all right, rolling a quick break, song time, and then J Hype's gonna teach us some things. Okay.
Sounds good.
We say toast, convey, cheers, mate, and cheers, mate again, or simply cheers. Sometimes it's all tossing, other times it's cheers. Hey, you effing hoser. We also say Sunday salute, saluting, or Tage skull rasha, we cheer nicer of you. And now in Vietnam we can say yo. That's how Choey and Jandler cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Different languages, same sentiments, raising our glasses to friendship and joy. Cheers, cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. The world.
There it goes. There it goes. And that is to our friends. I gotta. Oh my! There we go. Our friends in Germany, South Korea, Brazil, England, Australia, Barbados, Canada, Colombia, Venezuela, Philippines, Italy, Norway, Vietnam, Russia, and hopefully, I forgot to bring this up earlier, and Jay Hype can always tell us, uh, he knows Usain Bolt. How do you know Usain Bolt again?
I used to train with him when I was in. I used to train with him when I was in Jamaica before I came to America.
Yeah, that's right. But like, I didn't know. Like, so you know him just from training. I didn't know like if you knew him before that. So it was just training.
Well, yeah, no, I trained. We have the same coach in high school and stuff like that.
Oh, okay,
His
That's
coach
cool.
right now coached my high school.
okay. But like, also
Yeah,
he was asking me earlier if I was gonna live stream this. I was like, I don't really know how to do that yet. But like, don't worry. We'll after we edit and stuff, we'll get it to him. And so Jay, you can send it to family in Jamaica, and hopefully they listen,
yeah.
and then we can add Jamaica to the song. How do you say cheers in Jamaica? Is it just cheers?
Um, yeah. Cheers.
Oh man.
There's no other word for that. Just cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
You never know. All right. Hey, so there's two things I'm hoping to get from you, right? One, read us. You're gonna read a little bit in your language, and we're gonna try and guess what you're saying, right? But only read a couple pages. And then
Okay.
last thing we're gonna do, there's a couple of teacher phrases that we can ask you how we should say that if we wanted to say it, in Jamaican. All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
So you're gonna take it away. Like I said, I only read a couple pages. Choey and I are gonna try and think hard of what you're saying. It's gonna be really tough, Choey. Just so you know, I've heard
Yeah.
it
All right.
talk.
You ready?
Yeah,
Ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Here goes it. The sun never did a shine. It did too wet to play. So me sit down in the house, all that cold, wet day. Me sit down with Sally. Before we sit down, as I said, how me wish me have something else to do. But it is too wet to go outside and it too cold to play ball. So we just sit down in the house and do nothing at all.
Uh, okay. So I'm picking up on the word house. I'm guessing bad weather outside, right? What do you want
Yeah,
to
he
add,
did
Choey?
something about not, I mean, I got it was something about can't it's too cold to play ball, so he's gonna stay inside and do nothing at all.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
definitely said that for sure. All right,
Uh,
I'm keep
okay.
going.
So I mean, did we get the gist of it?
You did get
Now,
the gist of it.
now I will be honest, right? So I kind of the word house, like I sounded very similar, right? And then I like kind of the weather sounded very similar too. But I will say also, I picked up on that rhyme there at the end. I did know it was a Dr. Seuss book, right? Because his son had accidentally said it earlier. But I still was trying to pick up on. That's hard language to understand, isn't it, Choey?
So it's like a Dr. Seuss book that's translated over?
Yeah, he was reading uh Cat in the Hat in his language.
Oh, I was like, what? That's crazy. I'm gonna find it right now online.
No, he was
Oh
just
no, no. It's I picked an English book, like a English book that's in English, but I'm reading it in Pato. Like
Oh, okay.
the words are not there. I'm just making the words as I see the words in this book.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
I
Yeah. So
I
I'm
was
gonna keep going.
I was I was on Wikipedia. I forget when, kind of learning a little bit about that language. Is it kind of Creole?
It's
Is it
kind
sim?
of, yes. It's
Okay.
kind of curly. It's English, but it's broken. After I'm finished reading a couple pages, I'm gonna give you some examples, and then you'll understand the language completely.
All right, let's read about maybe two more pages, and we'll see if we can pick up anything.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So all we could have do was sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, and we never like it at all. So not one little bit. And then something went boom, bump. How that bump just made us jump. We look, then we look, and we see them a step on the mat. We look and we see him, the cat in the hat, and he said to us, why you sit down there, sir? Why you sit down there like that? Yeah. And me know it wet and the sun is not sunny outside, but we can have like a whole heap of fun. That is funny.
So obviously the cat in the hat's there. Where are they? Can you guess what they were sitting on, Choey?
I mean,
Because I
I can
couldn't.
guess. I'll probably guess. Like I would have guessed that they're inside. It's a couch.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, I didn't think about that. No, is it? Were they sitting on a couch?
No, they're sitting on like chair looking out the window.
Oh, chair.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That now those last couple pages, I guess a lot of some of that English or some of that was very similar there, so you can kind of get that. But I was just trying to certain things I couldn't get. All right, now we'll ask you a couple phrases, and you maybe try and tell us how we would translate it. I'm not going to type it on here. You can just tell us. How would I say? Like teachers, I always tell my kids, please raise your hand. How would you say that?
Raise your hand. I mean, put your hand up. Put your
Wait,
hand up.
all right. How about keep hands to self?
Keep your hand to yourself. You would say to yourself like not touch nobody or like when you say keep your hand to yourself, you're saying don't touch anything or anyone, right?
Yeah.
Well, we just say not touch nothing.
Okay.
It-
Get
It's
out your.
it's similar. Like we would say the same. Okay, so let me take a step back. So we
Okay.
speak English is our number one language, right?
Right.
Like English, not So there's two types of English. Let me start
Yeah.
out by saying that there's American English and there's English.
Yeah.
English where everybody in the world speak, and then there's American English where Americans speak. So
Sounds about
everywhere
right.
in the world, the English that's spoken in England is spoken everywhere in the world except America. So in Jamaica, because we were colonized by the British, English is our number one language, right? You
Yeah.
know, America was colonized by the British too, but America developed their own metric system, their own English language, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
For example, center is spelled CENTRE, and you would spell center CENTER.
Yeah.
Our meter is METRE in English, but in American English, the meter is METER. You know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
So with that being said, we speak English and then we speak broken English. But English is our number one language. But patois, or we said broken English. I said broken English for you to understand, but it's patois. So we also speak patois, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. But English is our number one language.
But he told me one time, Joey, that I guess when you speak your broken English or your patois, you kind of take out some syllable sounds or whatever, right? Is
Yes,
that what makes it
yes.
kind of fast?
That makes sense. I'm trying. I'm like googling as we go, like as we're talking, and I'm just
Okay.
kind of looking at like so trying to see like some of the different stuff that it's got on there. It's pretty interesting.
So to put it in perspective, right? What's going on, right?
Gotta bleep that
Or
name out, by the way.
oh, sorry,
So it's no big deal.
my bad. Jandler
Yeah.
and Choey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you say in English what's going on, instead of saying what's going on, we would say wagwan. So we turn what's going on. What's going on is three words. What's going on? We turn it into two words. And it's spelled WAH, and then the other word is GWAAN. Wagwan. That means what's going on.
Man. So well, I guess for you it doesn't really matter. Like, is it easier to read it or is it easier to like decipher it when somebody
So
says it?
that's the issue. That's the issue. We don't write it unless we're texting, unless we're talking to another Jamaican or talking to somebody who understands patois.
Uh
We will
huh.
say it, but patois is not written. I mean, it's coming around to where they're writing it now because there's different versions of patois. There's people from the city and there's people from the country. The people from the city is gonna spell it different from the people from the country.
Yeah.
And but the language itself is not a written language. It's not written. So I can spell wagwan one way, and somebody else can spell it a different way. If that makes sense.
No. Yeah, because even when you were talking, it's funny you were saying about how we speak different English, and I was like, yeah, I got friends that are from the UK, and I'm like, it's funny, we both speak English, but we don't speak the same language, because it's like you'll say
Yes.
stuff that I don't get. But even here in America, different states are gonna say different things. Like
Yeah,
like some
different
people
variation.
call like Dr Pepper a soda. Some call it a pop. I've always grown up calling it a Coke. That was always my thing. Like, hey, you want a Coke? And then we had to be specific, you know. So like,
But that's still English. It's just different words are meant for like different stuff is said in different ways because
right.
it's the same.
But what I'm saying is like geographically or where you're from is going to change certain stuff. You know how people like, some people can have different accents, you know. But that's crazy. You know, it's fun like to kind of switch subjects, but I'm thinking about it. What's funny, Choey, is J Hype goes to some of the SAC soccer games with me, right? And
Yeah.
we got there's a dude from Jamaica on the squad this year, and like they're like close friends now. Like I don't know, it's something about the being from Jamaica, right? You just got that connection, just how it works.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So anytime a Jamaican see another Jamaican anywhere in the world, it's like we've known each other a long time ago. Cause it's you. So I found out that there's more Jamaicans overseas than actually in Jamaica. We only have 2.8 million people living in Jamaica. Jamaica is the size of, it's like every state in America is bigger than Jamaica. Put it like that. And so whenever we see another Jamaican anywhere in the world, it's like we know that person a long time ago because you're just having a whole conversation. If that makes sense.
oh yeah,
That's cool.
so pretty cool. Yeah. So we learned something here on Choey and Jana, like we always like to do, right?
I mean, I would say, but this is probably one of the more like actual like constructive, like you could pass this information along and sound smarter as opposed to most of the things that we learn.
Yeah, crazy trivia and things like that. Actually, I do got one more thing on here I was gonna do for I'm gonna do a teacher another teach or Sesame Street type word of the day. Last thing here, and then we can start wrapping it up. All right. And I'm like thinking about this because it just happened to me because tomorrow's our first day, right?
Yeah.
But last Friday we had what I would call our teacher last supper, and what I mean by that is that was our last chance to eat a regular meal and not feel rushed. You know, now that school starts, man, it'd be a lot of protein shakes. You know, trying to eat on the fly, man. It's like 20 minutes. Go, 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 go. We actually got to sit down.
I always hated like they don't tell you that stuff. Like it's never one of those things like when you're going through and getting your degree, like they tell you like, hey, when you're a teacher, they give you a 30-minute lunch, but it's a 30-minute lunch, and like so you
Yeah.
gotta like you think okay, 30 minutes, like I can watch a TV show in 30 minutes, but like by the time you get your food ready and everything, you're just shoveling it in, and people are trying to talk to you, and you're like not trying to be mean, but I want to eat all my food before I gotta go back and get those kids.
And then I'm always like, I'm one of those people. Choey would remember this more because of some of the movies and TV shows we watched. I don't know about you, Jay. Whereas like, you know, when you're doing a road trip, did you go to the bathroom? Did you go, like, you remember that? Like, hey, we're getting ready to go. Did you go to the bathroom before? To me, that's my lunch. I don't have to go to the bathroom half the time, but I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go when I have to teach, so I got to go now. You know, I make myself go.
Go pee just in case. Go
Yeah.
try.
Because I hate to be up there dancing in front of the class, you know. But anything else you want to add, Choey?
No, I this was actually a again. I mean, I realize the essence of our show is just to be whatever, but this was actually a rather enlightening episode. That was kind of neat to
We
hear
learned
some of that
some.
stuff.
We get
Feel
some.
free, feel free to include me in future podcasts and future stuff. I'm here.
Oh yeah,
Sound
will
good?
do. You can feel free to share this with your family. Hey, last thing before he starts doing our social media, don't won't keep this long, but Jay, he said he's kind of a Man City fan now.
Oh wow, oh
This
wow. I
guy over
feel
here,
sorry. I feel sorry for him.
but he
They
got
they they won today. They won
yeah,
today, two to
but
nothing.
he said, but if I remember right, he told me his reasoning is because they had that HBO show or whatever, right? So
Prime
like
Video.
Prime Video, he's like,
It was just kind of one of those things. Like, so I was like, all right, I guess. I mean, because I mean, Jandler, like I played soccer since I was 5, and like I was just like, I feel like I was born too early to like soccer's all cool and stuff here now, but like when we were
yeah,
kids, Soccer is like one of those, oh, you're the soccer kid. Like, okay, cool. Like it's NFL and NBA and I mean, even MLB kind of fallen off a little bit in popularity, but those were the things. And
Do you
now at
remember what?
least
Do you remember what hat you were wearing in high school?
for football,
Well, for world football, yeah.
oh, for world football, like, no, I never had one. Like, I had an Adidas hat. It was a
No,
World Cup.
no. Why you always forget you used to have this Arsenal hat? Because you would always wear
Me?
this Arsenal hat. Yeah,
You
because you had
guys
this.
grew up together? Did you guys grow up together?
Yeah, we met in
Yeah.
sophomore year in high school.
I'm,
So you guys known each other a long time then.
yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've known each other long. I never had an Arsenal. I never actually had any sort of Premier League hat.
Dude, I remember you wearing a red hat with a cannon on it, and it said Arsenal, like the Arsenal logo. I just
I
like
feel
you
like you're on
never,
drugs.
just like you never told everyone they were monkey spank when you were in high school.
I didn't call everybody that. Like, I only called a few people that, not
Yeah.
everybody. That wasn't like my go-to phrase. But anyways, no, like I had an Adidas hat that was like a soccer hat. I never
Well, I
actually had
know
like
that.
a,
Yeah, you had your. I went to one of his soccer games. It might have been when we were.
huh?
Yeah, I can't. But I remember we
Oh,
were juniors. He
yeah.
got tagged in the. He got
You're
kicked. The ball
you're
got kicked
you're
and hit
you're
him in the face.
you're bad luck. That's the only game I ever got messed up on.
Yeah,
Only game I ever got hurt.
he got
And
blasted in the face.
so Jay, what ended up happening is him and another one of our friends comes to like a game because I think I was spending the night at his house afterwards.
Something like
Yes.
that.
And the ball, like, it was a throw in. I remember vividly. It was a throw in, and somebody tapped it up in the air, and so I'm settling under it to like head this ball, and some dude just plows into my back,
Yes.
and so like he just hits me and like causes me to like fling forward, and like the ball like slaps on my face,
Yeah.
and I kind of get up like, oh, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm
Your
good,
your
and then,
like your days that you're you're like out of
well,
there a little bit.
well, I guess I was. I remember being like thinking I was fine, and then like the ref blows the whistle, like pulls me out. They call me. They come me, bring me off to the sideline. They're like, "Hey, are you okay? Let's put some ice on you."
He
And
looked a
it went
little
into
woozy.
like I went
He
after
looked,
the game, and I'm in the and they're like, "Dude, are you okay?" And like so, like half my eye was like on this side of my face was like swollen like halfway shut to where I was like all one eye like that. I didn't realize it because the way I could see. So I thought I was fine, and after that, I was like, "Dude, I'm effed up, man." Like.
yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I should do like. I mean, it went away. It was fine, but geez,
The craziest thing is, that was a Saturday. It talks about how times have changed. That game was like a Saturday morning. I want to say like at 10 o'clock or something, and there was
yeah.
like 10 of us in the stands. Man, there was like nobody there.
Nobody ever went to our soccer JV or varsity games. Nobody went to soccer games, and so
Yeah, like you said, Choey, back in your growing up, like soccer wasn't a thing like that in America. It just got developed like over the years, like Clint Dempsey, Josie Altidore, and those guys, like the Zimmerman and those guys. That's where it started developing. Like soccer wasn't really like nobody nobody knew nothing about MLS. I mean, like that.
Well, the two things that
see,
have helped me is FIFA video games and Premier League on TV. Now we didn't have any of that going on when we were growing up, so I didn't get
no,
exposed to
I
it.
and I mean, I don't have any of most of my stuff that when I was a kid. It just kind of goes by the wayside. You kind of lose stuff over the years. But I actually remember when MLS debuted, and I had like the original poster. And I think it was like 6 teams in each division,
Yeah,
and like now they're all big. But yeah, I never had like a premier. I never had like a Premier League team because, like you said, Jailer was never on TV, and so like now I just kind of was like, oh, okay, I'd like to watch the games, but I kind of soccer for me has always been one of those things like you can't get like football. I can kind of watch a game. Basketball, I can watch a game even if the Spurs aren't playing, the Cowboys are playing. I can still watch a game and enjoy it. But like now, like with the Premier League, I'm like I got to find a team now. Like I kind of want to trade. I mean, I don't have any Man City stuff, so it's not like I'm like, oh my god, I'm a diehard like blue, and I gotta have that. But I kind of want to find it. I want to find a team that I can support. That's almost like kind of like the underdog that can kind of be built up. But that's the one thing that stinks too about the Premier. Well, it's not that it
all
stinks. I
right.
think it's cool about the Premier League is if you're like a crap team, then you might drop down the division. So I'm like, well, I don't want to support somebody like this. Will be like
If
almost
you
like
want
Wrexham, like with a thing with a Rob
Look,
McElroy or
to,
as
Ryan
long as
McElroy or
you don't
whatever.
support, as long as you don't
if you
support
want to support a
Liverpool,
team,
look, as long as you don't support Liverpool, then everything is good.
oh yeah. But also, if you want to
That's one
support,
team you cannot support is Liverpool.
uh, amen. Hey, go ahead and do the
Anyways,
social media plug, Choey.
okay, so make sure to follow those guys on social media. It's at Choey and Jan. That's at ChoeynJan. We're on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Jandler, no, yeah.
YouTube, yes. We were behind on our shorts. We have to do some more
Oh, okay.
digital stuff, man.
And then if you want to catch Jandler on the Bunker Report, supporting the SAFC out there as well on the Bunker.
Speaking of next year, Jandler and myself and J Hype will be taking over the Bunker Report.
Oh, cool.
He'll be joining us. He'll be joining me, and we'll be
So then you got.
changing some
So then if
stuff
you're
up.
listening to us right now with the social media plug, you can catch both our regular host and our guest J Hype as well on the Bunker Report.
I don't know if you see what he was doing it because he's on his phone. He
Yeah,
was doing all
the
the
thumbs.
thumbs up. He's like, "Woo, bubbles!" And you got the fireworks. All right. We're gonna pull the
If
plug
you-
on this.
But